boy up, COBSEE. Yeah, man, that's what we gonna do. That's what we gonna do. I'm back in the house. You know, today is Wednesday. Day 2 of being back on the JOB. Trying to put something together. Just thinking. I mean, today is Wednesday, so you know what it is. It's seeking on Wednesdays. So what I'm doing on Wednesdays is looking for more evidence to the questions, to the lifestyle, to the do-it-to-itness that I'm living, right? That's why I'm looking for more evidence to convince this brain this is the direction we need to go in and try and change this paradigm. You know, get it down on the inside. Day 39 of the affirmations, 365 on the breast cancer. I'm about to change that up a little bit. I mean, we'll knock that out. We're still going to be a part of that. But I may have to fail. And day 2 of the intermittent fasting. But that's not nothing new. The intermittent fasting, I kind of already did that anyway. I'm just going to be more purposeful with it. I'm just going to keep it sustained. You know, it's not a lot of carbs that I eat anyway. I probably kept it down. Because here's the deal. We're not trying to get into keto. We're just going to low carbs, keeping it insulin low. That's what we're trying to do. If you go in and out of keto between now and then, don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, woke up this morning, of course, and then I read my Bible. Time I woke up, first thing I like to do is go ahead and pray, then read my Bible, right? Go ahead and pray, then read my Bible. Then after that, guess what I did? Oh, let me tell you what I read. I was looking at this traffic. I mean, this person's like driving like extra slow. But let me look at this traffic. Anyway, back to the Bible. I was reading, I think it was, first I read, I forget which one I read, but it was like maybe Isaiah chapter 3. It was talking about how the people you know, had got out of God's good graces, and all these things was gonna be happening to them, and it's wasn't that God was putting it on them. It's just that they just got out of the good graces. They were just out. So you was off from under the umbrella is the way I like to look at it. But back then, people didn't know that it was God. They thought it was God, but it wasn't God. It's just they got off from under the umbrella. So that's what they did. So I said, man, you know what? That didn't really kind of pump me up, but it kind of showed me some consequences. Then I flipped over to my boy Daniel, chapter 3, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. However you pronounce that. They were saying that they weren't going to bow down to the idols. And how people had used that didn't like them, and they used the king ego in order to try to destroy them. But sometimes, you know, we do that as little kids when we edging a conversation on, when we edging a fight on or something. Ooh, wow, you saw what they did? Man, they ain't showing you no respect. Oh my goodness, he a chump. You know, stuff like that, right? And you get enough people telling you that, then your ego gonna raise up. Next thing you know, you're gonna be doing stuff that you don't even supposed to be doing. You're gonna be in conversations you don't even supposed to be in the whole 9 yards. You see what I'm saying? So that was the name of the game. So anyway, the king said, they said, well, shoot, man. Say, king, man, they ain't even bound down like they supposed to our gods. Tell you what, man, won't you let us build you a golden statue? We already got the plans for it, and then you can make everybody bow down to your statue at the precise time. They're gonna drop to their knees and worship the statue. And if they don't, then kill them. They said, oh yeah, we got him now. The king said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do it. Let's show these chumps who's boss. That's where he did it. But anyway, it came up. I like the way they answered. Said, look, I'm gonna give you one last. He said, look, I heard y'all wasn't bowing down. I'm gonna give you another shot. He said, man, king, don't even waste your breath. Cause we ain't gonna do it anyway, man. You might well throw us in the fire right now. I mean, them guys was bold. They was standing up, but they had something. They had built a relationship up with the power. They say, if we get out, fine. If we don't, fine. Don't matter. Well, we know we ain't bowing down. We know that. And so they took a stand because people was watching. Of course, they went in, came out unharmed, unscathed. And the part I didn't know is that the king said he thought, here's the deal. Check this out, right? The king said, you know what? I'm so mad. Let's make this fire 10 times hotter, 5 times higher. Well, he's gonna be hotter fire. To get some guards, some strong men, and go and tie them up, go throw them in. Now here's the deal. Fire was so hot to try to kill these cats, right? It killed the dudes that was throwing them in. That's how hot it was. It killed the guys that was throwing them in. They got killed. I said, man, how these guys dying here? And these guys just throw them in there. And then the king said, man, look at that. We throw 3 in there, but I see 4. And the 4th one looked like the Son of God. Now, that's the question. How do the king know what the Son of God looked like? It had to be something spectacular for him to say something like that. So I said, I'm going to dive off into that and see what was happening. But anyway, of course, it came out unscathed, untouched, didn't even smell like smoke. The king said, oh man, this is the true God right here. Hey, everybody don't worship this God, forget the fire. We're gonna cut them into pieces. It came out with something else. But anyway, then after that, this is my morning now. That's good stuff. Then my girl Joyce jump on with seek first the kingdom of God and all these things shall be added. Having that relationship. She was talking about relationships with God should be first. Then relationship with others should be second, because it should flow in that manner. Because we put all our efforts and relationships into people, say people gonna let us down. We put it in the things gonna let us down. Because all this was truly saying was that we shouldn't worship other gods. And a friend of mine told me this a long time ago. He said that if you walk up to a client and you scared to tell a client something or to approach a client, you might as well go ahead and bow down to that client. Because you put that client above God and what God has told you. I said, man, I ain't never looked at it like that. He said, yeah, anything that you're afraid to lose, you might as well bow down to it. Because that's what you're saying. If it's a car, you don't risk your life for a car, then you should bow down to it. A lot of people do. When they clean them tires, you got to bow down and rub them tires. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he said. Anything. He said, don't put it in kids. Don't put it in none of that stuff. People, things, kids, money. Don't put it in none of that stuff. Because if you do, your trust is in that, then you might as well bow down to it. And you'll find out that all that stuff is temporary anyway, and all that stuff fails. People lose their money, they lose their house, they lose their life, they lose their job, they lose loved ones. Say, but the only thing that remains is God. She said, when those things leave, you need to have a strong relationship with God already built up so you have something to fall back on. Because if you don't, then it gets tough. That's what she was saying. So that's what I'm looking at today, as far as, I'm gonna be thinking about that every time I get ready to go for no, and then I'm hesitating. I'm be like, this gonna help me go for no, because look, I ain't gonna bow down at this door right here. That's crazy. I might as well go for it. I went for some no yesterday. I was trying to get this thing tightened up. Let's see what this thing look like. We got some traffic. There we go. I mean, still on my heels, man. You can't. That's a proof you can't shake somebody. I'm past this lady. I'm like the tortoise in the hare. Let's see if this come around. I'm like the tortoise in the hare, right? This lady driving super slow. No matter how far I get ahead, the next light catches, she back on my heels. You run super fast again. Next thing she back. I'm looking back in my rear view. She in the slow creep coming behind me. I just go to show you don't have to risk your life to run a red light or run a stop sign, because it all in the grand scheme of things, you're not gonna save number 1 or 2 minutes on a short trip. Now, if y'all going to California, then you can probably get some distance between you. But I was on my way back from the beach. Man, I got some distance. I got some miles between some folks. No, probably 2 miles, you know. They was driving 55, I was driving 65. So in a short span, you can only get maybe a mile or 2 in front of them. The next light, the next turn, they was right back on your heels. Until you got on like the interstate or something like that. And then me and my wife, the funny thing, traffic got backed up. My GPS took me off, said, yeah, we're gonna go around this traffic. We get back on, and the same folks that we left in the traffic, we got in right back behind the same people. My wife said we did all that driving. I said, yeah, but we really didn't know how bad the traffic was gonna be. So that was funny. We laughed at that. We laughed at that big time. But anyway, but that just go to show, you know, you could be running hard for the wrong. See, I had some anxiety set up comparing myself with somebody else. See how that feel? It felt like we really didn't accomplish nothing because, okay, I passed this guy. Now my competition is with me and that guy. You may not be like that, but you got to look at it. Sometimes you may, especially when you're driving, especially trying to make good time, because you need those landmarks. Hey, I passed this guy. I'm a long. But that guy come back up and said, man, I must not be making good time. I must not be making good time. Don't know. But anyway, don't compare to other folks like that. All right. So you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna be looking for more of that evidence. I'm gonna be providing more value and go at this thing, you know, not to make no money, because that's the fruit. Not to try and please everybody. Not to make the assumption. Oh, I'm jumping ahead to tomorrow. But anyway, that's Matthew chapter 7. Asking it is given, seeking you shall find, knocking the door shall be open. Today is Wednesday. Seeking and I shall find. So you know what I'm gonna do? What you gonna do? I'm gonna do it to it. Won't you do it to it too? Peace out.